this week is pretty interesting, what we've got going on in AI. Um, so Lone Star, I don't know if anybody's heard of this. It's a SpaceX rocket launching SSDs packed with data to the moon to create the first ever lunar data center. And to me, that feels like we're going to be contributing to a lot of space junk. I have no idea how that's going to affect things. But that is a thing that's happening is data is getting moved to the moon. And they're saying, it's immune to climate disasters and hacking. And so they are going to be offering this off-planet storage for governments, corporations, and even entertainment. They say that there's a popular band's music up there now, or, that will be up there with this. So there's a question of like, will space-based data storage be the next frontier? I personally don't see sending any packets to space, but in a year or five, you can ask me again, and maybe that's something that is going to be something normal. But I don't know. I think that, yeah, that's an interesting one. AI usage skyrockets in higher education is another one of our headlines. A survey showed that 92% of university students in the UK are using Gen AI tools. And the big question is, are they using generative AI in a way where they actually know how to use discernment when they're using the AI tools and how to use them safely? And only 36% of students have received AI training from the universities. So there's a big gap in kids using AI for school and the knowledge that they have about how to use it safely. Um, I've got a 20-year-old, so very much in this conversation at home. And human discernment is a really important thing to teach our young people because it's all we're going to have left. We can't just have these AI things spit out. I've talked to a lot of professors about it as well, and they're trying to integrate discernment into the way they're doing their lessons. Um, there's a professor at UBC who knows that her students are going to be using AI when she asks them to do summaries of research. And so instead of, ignoring or denying that, she has them use AI intentionally to summarize research and then has them look at the results that AI gives them and note what they like about it and what they don't like about it, what they found to be accurate or inaccurate. So even though it's not an AI class or technology or anything anyway whatsoever, it's in communication. She's teaching them how to use their discernment with AI because she knows it's going to happen. And then Nvidia says that generative AI models will reach 100 times more computation power than older iterations. And this is thanks to their new step-by-step reasoning techniques. And we've seen the reasoning models come out in most of the major AI tools. And we will see what happens with this. It's also going to boost the usage of data and electricity in reasoning because reasoning takes more energy than the typical first gen AI outputs. And then there's a guy up in BC that's doing a study on the environmental impact of AI. And he hasn't released the paper yet, but I saw him speak at an AI event up there. And he does a breakdown of the environmental impact, heat from the data centers, how it's impacting water sources too, because some of the data centers are water cooled and then they put the water back into the environment and it is warmer. So there are a lot of side effects that can happen, and there are so many more data centers being built across the US and Canada and all over the world too. Um, and in a feel-good AI story, Signs is an AI platform that helps you learn sign language. And there are some communities where everybody had to know sign language a long time ago. And that's something that's kind of gotten lost. But this platform is backed by Nvidia, and it's teaching users how to use ASL through AI-driven feedback. And it uses, you can see your hands, and it can see your hands and give you coaching on how to do the sign language. And I took German growing up, I took Spanish, and then as a young adult, I did sign language as well. And that was one of the harder languages to learn. Um, and in my first company, we had a deaf employee, and so we all learned a bit of sign language, taught it to my child growing up. And it really makes a difference in how you communicate with people. There's a lot more expression and understanding and patience um, when using sign language, and babies as young as 3 months old can sign back to you. And my kid at 4 months old could use like two or three signs in a row to convey feelings. And so for us, it brought so much peace into the household because my child